Does anyone think seeing is not important? Because without sight, it's difficult, right? It's not impossible, but it makes it a lot more difficult. And all of us here, I hope, are able to see. There's no one blind here, is there? So we all have our sight. And the reason why I'm saying this is this morning I talked about seeing, and I'll give you some of the quotes I gave them this morning. I was at Zim-UK, which is the annual real estate conference in Zimbabwe. We're the headline sponsor for the third year in a row. And there was about 300 people in the room. And I gave them some quotes about seeing. Because seeing is believing. But before I do that, I wanted to share a personal story with you. You know, when I was in Canada in 2007, I had a skiing accident. I hit a tree and my brain was severed from my ear to my jaw. 12.8 centimeters. The brain was detached from the skull by about 6 centimeters wide. So the dura membrane that holds the brain to your skull was ripped apart. And blood profusely bled and pushed my brain into the top third cavity of my skull. So it was compressed 3 times. I was, of course, unconscious in a coma. I was on a life support machine. I had 6 or 7 hours of brain surgery. And they gave me a 2% chance of survival and said that if I woke up, I'd be a vegetable. I wouldn't remember, I wouldn't talk, wouldn't be able to speak, wouldn't be able to do anything. But yet you see me here today as a normal person. You wouldn't have guessed that I had no hair, I was shaved bald. I had 68 metal staples holding the skull because they had to detach the skull. They had to take that much skull off to get the blood out. So when I was dying, I literally died in the ambulance. I lost consciousness. And whilst I was dying and losing my life, it was slipping away into darkness. I realized the last thing that I had was my sight. Because desperately fighting for life, one at a time your faculties are taken away, and eventually you're left with nothing. You're reduced to nothing. You realize how insignificant you are. And life is just a moment. The moment of death and life are less than a moment away. So as I lay on the ambulance bed staring at the ceiling with these people trying to desperately try and save me, I could do nothing. I was paralyzed. I was incapacitated. But the last thing that I had was my eyesight. And I held on to it until the last moment. And then the darkness came in and eventually it went black. But in that last moment I said to God, if you're there, I didn't really know if he was real. Let me see. Let me hold on to my eyesight. I don't mind coming back as a paraplegic. All I want is my sight. Because that was the last thing I had. And many of us take life for granted. Because every day we have air to breathe. Every day we have sight. We have ears to hear. And yet these things we take for granted. We neglect to recognize how fortunate we are. There are many in the world who cannot see, cannot hear, who have difficulty in breathing. So sight is very important. And this morning, based on my chairman, I have a chairman in the group. We're now listed. Westprop Holdings Limited is listed on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange. His name's Dr. Michael Louis. And he comes from a 4th generation family business. And his father always taught him, the eyes don't lie. So if you want to know something, go and look. Go and see it for yourselves. And I shared an anecdote from Al Pacino's movie Scarface, where he said to his friend next to him, Chico, he'd seen a girl that he liked, and he said, no, she likes me. So his friend asked, how do you know she likes you? He said, hey, Chico, the eyes, they never lie. So talking about the eyes, you know, there's a saying, and I think it's quite personal to me as well, because I used to read it to my daughter at nighttime for her to go to bed. And this is what the poem says. A wise old owl lived in an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we all be like that wise old bird? So I'm going to stop speaking now. And I'm going to ask someone to come and present. Zim-UK, please come up. He's our social media manager at Westprop. And I know that he'll do a far better job of showing you a vision of what we're doing in Zimbabwe today. And then I'll come back to you. Thank you. Thanks, brother.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zim-UK, District Marketing Manager for Westprop Holdings. What I want to take through you today is basically a vision of what WestProp is doing. But before we go that far, where I want to begin is with Zimbabwe. Because Zimbabwe is going through a lot. Of course, yes, we have a bit of our own issues, but in reality, there's a lot more that's going on that's positive. And we need to be telling those stories. We need to be telling better stories. We need to be telling better stories internally. We need to be telling better stories to the diaspora externally and to the rest of the world. But whose responsibility is it? It's ours. It's our responsibility, it's the responsibility of the corporates, of the people, to be able to tell people that Zimbabwe is thriving, Zimbabwe is rising.
What if the future wasn't something we waited for, but something we built, one brick at a time? Zimbabwe is a nation of strength, beauty, and unmatched potential. From our golden sunshine and fertile soil to our vibrant culture and warm-hearted people. This is a land that inspires, a land worth investing in, a land we are proud to call home. At WestProp, we believe that when Zimbabwe rises, we rise. And when we rise, Zimbabwe rises with us. We are more than developers. We are dreamers, builders, believers, pioneering premium lifestyle estates where people can live, work, shop, and play. From the urban elegance of Millennium Heights, to the smart city of Pomona, to the green serenity of Pokugara, and the world-class ambition of the Hills Estate, we are laying the foundations of the future today. Behind every home is a heartbeat, our people, our teams, our brick factory, turning vision into reality one brick at a time. Our vision is bold, to lay 1 billion bricks by 2050. Brick by brick, home by home, creating spaces that reflect the greatness of this nation and its people. Because our strength isn't just in our land, it's in our spirit, in the hands of every builder, in the heart of every family, in the story of every Zimbabwean. We are here for the long haul, investing in tomorrow, building with excellence, powered by innovation. Join us, grow with us, rise with us. Because we are proud of Zimbabwe, proud of our families, proud of our company, proud of our country. Proud, proud, proud. We are WestProp. We are Zimrise. And together, we are building a brighter Zimbabwe. And to the world, we say this. Watch closely, because the last can be first. Zimbabwe is rising, and WestProp is leading the way.
Now we have a very ambitious goal, to put 1 billion bricks into the ground by 2050. And we plan to do that by building premium lifestyle estates where people can live, work, shop, and play all within a 15-minute walk of everything that they need. Why 1 billion bricks? It's not a random number that we picked, it's scientific. It is an estimate of the number of bricks we actually need to develop the land banks that we own. So, guided by our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Sharpe, this is the vision that we're pushing towards, to be able to provide those kind of facilities at Dubai to Zimbabwe that people can be able to experience. What are some of these properties that you can be able to invest in? As a property developer, We have been selling predominantly all of our properties. Well, our business model is that we sell all of our properties off plan. What that means is that you trust us with your funding upfront and we deliver your dream home within the stipulated time period. Basically, you're financing your home ahead of time. Now, for us to do that, what that means is that people need to trust us to be able to do that. People need to trust us with their money, with their capital. People need to trust us to develop and hand over those properties in good time and with the quality that we promised. And you know what? We've been doing that since 2015. We have been delivering properties all the way from commercial properties, from Budzi People's Market that's located right next to the Trabables, all the way to the 9 developments that we are working on right now in 2025 that are property developments, residential developments, and commercial developments that people can live in. What are some of these developments? Let's start with Budzi People's Market. This is something that we've already developed and handed over, where 500 small and medium enterprises are operating from, for them to be able to operate in a safe, clean, habitable environment legally. At Millennium Heights, we are offering premium lifestyle apartments where people can be able to purchase lock-up shells and be able to live in a secure, gated community. This estate is going to house 1,000 families or 1,000 units. And what people do, why we offered these properties at lock-up shell is because we're answering a common problem, where people said that they want to have their homes, but they don't want the stress of building, they don't want the stress of construction and goes with it, and all the trust that you have to secretly accumulate. But at the same time, what I do want is the comfort to be able to personalize my home the way I want to, with the budget that I want to. So we develop the shells of all of the buildings and then give it to you with the windows, doors, conduits, all plumbing involved inside, backup solar, backup water, backup gas, reticulation, the connections to your fiber and the connection to your satellites. All you have to do is to come in, look at your blank canvas and think about the possibilities of what you can turn that apartment into. What we're offering, studios, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom apartments. Here currently on the site, as you can see, are 4 different sites that are happening. But what we have sold out is block 1 in the top right corner, block 2, and block 3, which are here. Block 3, which you can take a closer look at, is the more beautiful block that we currently have on site that we handed over last year in November, with glass balconies, fully backed up solar, water, and gas for our residents to be able to live in. Currently, this is what Block 4 is, the latest project that we're working on. And Block 4 is currently the highest residential building in North Harare. Also, now the most beautiful one with cascading floors, glass balconies, and also gardens round the side. But here's the very impressive part. This is a video that we took yesterday afternoon. This is the current site of what Block 4 looks like. And at this state, it is completely sold out. This is how much trust the industry has in us at the moment. They are able to trust us to be able to give us what we need to be able to deliver the dream that they need. But although it is sold out, what we are currently working on is Block 5, which we already broke ground on 2 months ago. But Block 5, we're not offering it on a normal circumstance, no. This is now an asset that sits in a real estate investment trust known as Seatright 5. And this building is now going to be operating as an apart hotel. Basically what it is us answering the question of people who want to go into the Airbnb market, but not have the stress of having to go through completing the apartment, have to do the marketing, the registration, all of that. What you can do is invest in the trust from as little as $500, and we do the rest. We construct the building, and we have the Radisson group of hotels who are going to be managing and running the apart hotel. So you now have an international group that is running the hotel, and all you have to do is earn a minimum of 8% on your return on investment year on year. But if that's not what you're into, sorry, this is a video of when we broke ground on Block 5. So this is what it looked like on the day, and we had the vice president, regional vice president of the Radisson, who came to also officiate the event. But if you still want to own your own apartment, what we are now selling is Millennium Heights Block 6, offering studios, 1-bedrooms and 2-bedroom apartments. At the moment, we've sold 10% of this building. We haven't even broken ground on yet. And that's how much our previous clients have also gained that trust. And it is something that we are asking people to also come in and invest in, not only for yourselves, for the future as well, and also if you just want an investment as a property that you actually own. Now, moving on, we have townhouses. Now, as you can see, right in the top right corner there, that's Millennium Heights. Across the Vlei, this is where we now have Pokugara residential estate and townhouses, where we were offering turnkey townhouses, built to completion, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, single story and double story townhouses. This is currently the largest townhouse estate that you'll find in Harare, fully secure as well. And as you see it at this point, only 1 unit is left to purchase. And as soon as that unit is done, we're not exactly shipping out. As you can see, there's a clear area that's in the middle. That area is where we're going to be putting all of the amenities that this estate needs. Swimming pools, gym, a clubhouse, tennis courts, paddle courts, everything that your family needs to be able to be comfortable. Now we've touched on the live and the play aspect. In the middle of the Vlei is going to be a park. And at the end of it is going to be the Mall of Zimbabwe, where people are going to be able to find their top brands close by. Now we have completed it. Around the Mall of Zimbabwe is also going to be workspaces where people can invest in. Now you have a complete live, work, shop, play element, all within 15 minutes of what you need. Regardless of whether you live at Millennium Heights or Pokugara Residential Estate, you have the comfort of being able to bring your work closer to home by investing in one of the work sites that are there. So you in the morning can be able to walk to work, after work be able to walk to the mall to be able to get the groceries that you need, and be able to walk back home without the stress of traffic and without the stress of where your kids are going and how safe they are going to be, all within 15 minutes. Down the road is Pomona City. Pomona City is down Alps Road, right next to Wingate Golf Course, where we are literally building a city within a city. What we're offering here are residential stands, mixed-use buildings, 2 international schools, fully reticulated, a mall, self-sustained, Church Avenue. Now, what we are building here is the ability for you to be either invest in residential stands. What you saw was first phase 1A, which was fully sold out, where people are already starting to build their homes. Currently, what we're selling is phase 1B and C, which is 90% sold currently, and where you can be able to invest in either 500 square meters all the way down to 1,000 square meters worth of stands. But as soon as we're done with phase 1A, which is all residential stands, after that, we're going to be moving from there, and what we're going to start offering are the mixed-use buildings. That's flats. That's where we're starting. Ushering in phase 2 is going to be Pomona City flats, where these flats, as compared to the apartments that are at Millennium Heights, are more family-oriented. There are no studios here, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedroom apartments in blocks that are 4 stories high, 27 of them. The only difference with this picture as compared to what's now on the ground, the only change that we've made are these 2 blocks that are at the bottom left corner, which we have sacrificed so that we can plant an orchard, which is currently there right now and growing. So now that is how we are managing to just put that extra effort so that people who are living in the estate can be able to have that live, work, shop, and play element. Lastly, what I want to interest you in is the Hills Lifestyle Estate, our ultra luxury lifestyle estate where we are building a USGA spec golf course. In simple terms, what we are offering is a PGA spec golf course right in the middle of Harare. Here we are offering something that Southern Africa doesn't even have, which is a branded hotel, branded homes, surrounded by a $10 million golf course, which we have extended. And around those are apartments, villas, townhouses, and mansions, as well as retirement homes that you can be able to invest in. What do these homes look like? Take a look.
developed in the lush greenery of a USGA Spec Championship golf course. The Hills Estate is a new, master-planned community to offer the finest quality of life. Join an elite class of living in our luxurious villas, stunning apartments, sophisticated townhouses, 5-star hotel, and all-inclusive retirement village. Our lifestyle amenities and sporting facilities are second to none, providing you with absolutely everything you need to live, work, shop, and play. Designed to cater diverse lifestyles with features like spacious layouts, indoor-outdoor living, premium finishes and amenities, offering luxury and comfort for families, professionals, and retirees alike. Westprop leads property development in Zimbabwe, crafting top-tier residential and commercial spaces since 2007. Secure an exclusive position in the Hills Estate and enjoy true excellence in living, leisure, and sport.
The estate itself is designed by Spanish architects called Slow Life Living. And included in the estate is also going to be a mall, tennis academy, swimming academy, as well as a golf range being hosted by Topgolf. So for the golfing enthusiasts, let me now show you what the golf course is going to look like. Designed by Peter Makovich, who is currently ranked as the #1 golf architect in the world, is the one who designed this golf course with the aim to make people feel as if they are playing in a fairy tale. In his own words, he says that, "What I want people to experience is that at the end of the course, when you finish playing, I want people to look back at it and say, yeah, I can't wait to come back and play again." And we genuinely believe this is what he's built. So what we've done is that we've taken his schematics and we gave them to the top rendering company in the world so that they can make us a render of what the golf course will look like once it's done. And we're estimating that it will be done by the end of 2026, where you can come and be able to tee off. What that rendering company then did is that it made to the blade of grass accurate render of what the golf course is going to look like once it's done. So everything that you're seeing here is what it's going to look like at the end. So I want you to take a look at what hole 17 and hole 18 will look like from the view of the clubhouse once it's done. As you can see, just from one company, there's so much positive stories to tell. Zimbabwe is rising. As it rises, we rise. And as we rise, Zimbabwe is rising as well. The question is, will you be on this journey with us? If you are interested, there is our sales team in the room. They're going to raise their hands so that you can see them. But if there's any more information that you need, each one of our banners has a QR code which you can scan and you'll be able to get more information. Thank you for your time.
We have a saying in Westprop that we're delivering exceptional performance and we execute in excellence. And I'm very proud of Zim-UK because truly he does that better than me. And you know, talking about the sayings of seeing, I'll give you another 3 quotes. The question is not what you look at, because you've looked at something today that I'm sure you've never seen before, never expected before in Zimbabwe to happen, but what you see. The question is not what you look at, but what you see. Do you choose to see the glass half full or half empty? It's the same glass. It has the same quantity of water in it. I choose to see it as overflowing. My cup truly overflows. Here 2 more. One is the uncle of Donald Duck, Ludwig von Drake. And he said, the more you look, the more you see. The more you see, the more you know. So surely you've seen today, and hopefully you leave knowing more. And here's one that a gentleman gave me 2 days ago that I really love, from Dr. Zeus. And he had been seeing me from a distance. He does work all over the world, and he visits Zimbabwe several times a year. And I had dinner with him the night before last. And he said to me that what he sees me doing is all about this saying, this quote from Dr. Zeus. If what you see is all you see, you will never see all there is to see. Right? So what I'm showing you today is not just to show you something to see, but to give you hope. Because I'm a man of the future. I live and breathe 2050. I know without any shadow of doubt that the buildings I see will be in this ground of Harare, that we will finish the work we've been given. We will put 1 billion bricks in the ground by 2050. And because of that, let me start with the end in mind. Yes, I'm Ken Sharpe, a name that's known, and I'm not only the founder and CEO, I call myself the Chief Energizing Officer of Westprop, of the largest listed company in Zimbabwe. I'm not just a visionary who believes in the future of Zimbabwe. And I'm not just a husband to my beautiful wife over there, or a father to my amazing, precious daughter. But most importantly and foremost, I am Mwana wa Mwari, a son of God. And after that, I am Mwana wevu. I am a son of the soil. And my heart bleeds for Zimbabwe. I love this country. I wear my flag on my arm. And in my heart, I keep the people of Zimbabwe. Because I truly believe the people of Zimbabwe, whether they're here today in this room, here today in this city or this country, or whether they're working somewhere, like the UK, or elsewhere in the diaspora, my message to you all is this is your country. You are all children of the soil. Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget where you're going. Because surely life is a circle. And you may have left, but you never know when you're going to come back. I had someone on social media a few days ago say to me, Zimbabwe's finished, bad politics, bad roads, all these things. I'm never coming back. My answer to him was simply, never say never. Because you don't know. Yes, we have problems in Zimbabwe. I cannot deny it. But those problems are not insurmountable. If you look at where Zimbabwe was in 2009 when we dollarized, we were about a $12 billion economy. Today we are arguably over 50 billion. Where in the world have you seen an economy grow in 16 years 4 times, 400%? By the way, that's double-digit growth compounded every year. It's not in the history books, but one day it will be. This is the fastest growing economy on the earth today, because there's no other economy that's growing at above 20% per year. But to go from 12 to 50, do the maths, it's over 20. There's so much to look forward to in Zimbabwe. I'll give you a few statistics, not to impress you, but to show you the hope that we have in 2050. The first one is the people of Zimbabwe, the greatest asset we have. I often say our nation's greatest value is not in the ground of minerals or agriculture or the natural beauty that we have, but in its people. We are the greatest asset of this country. And when we work together, amazing things can happen. I'm sorry to say, but the audience today is not representative of Zimbabwe Kennedy. We're too old, including myself. Zimbabwe has an average age of 18 years. The population is 18 years old, the average mean age of Zimbabwe. There's 62% of our population who are under 25 years of age. That means in 2050, when we realize our billion brick vision, they will be younger than me. I'm 52. The oldest of them will be 50. Just starting to actualize. Just starting to realize their full potential. What are we doing today to build that future? I know what I'm doing today. We've shown you what we do and how we do it and when we will do it by. But what I haven't told you is why we do it. We are driven with a passion by the billion bricks. Everyone in our company knows exactly where we are. Today, there's a meter in each of our building sites. We'll take Kennedy and his board tomorrow to show him. And today it has 87 million bricks on it. It's a digital meter. It counts the number of bricks in that site, in all the sites in the pipeline. So we know in a representative way digitally exactly how many bricks we've got towards the billion. We're almost 9% of the way, and we're just starting. That is the reason why we do it. But the reason why I do it is because I believe in you all. I believe in Zimbabwe. I believe in our future. I don't need a politician to tell me that tomorrow will be good or bad. I don't need a politician to look at and complain to say the country is bad. Let me give you another number to excite you. I looked at it this morning. The real estate sector in Zimbabwe today is around $1 billion a year, of which we believe we can have 10% market share, which is $100 million of sales as a company. If you look at the statistics globally and on this continent, a healthy economy needs to have between 10 and 15% as the real estate sector of that economy. That means that 50 billion, we should be between $5 and $7.5 billion, but we are 1. So today, not tomorrow, not in 2050, not in 2030, not in 2028, but today, there's $5 or $6 billion of market waiting for us to collect. Another statistic that's even more frightening. In Zimbabwe today, there's $100 billion of real estate that is paid off in cash, equity, 100% equity, no debt, of titled property. That means there's enough title deeds in Zimbabwe to collateralize $100 billion of potential mortgages. You could say, well, you can't have 100% of mortgages. Well, let me tell you, Switzerland, one of the most wealthy countries in the world, I presented to them that video that you've just seen, by the way. Today is the first time it's been seen in public. It was seen in private investor audience in Switzerland a few weeks ago. That economy is over 100% mortgages. Most developed, the US is 80%. Africa is around 30%. So take 30% of 100 billion and you get $30 billion. So today in Zimbabwe, we should have mortgages of $30 billion. If you inject $30 billion into this economy, it's a game changer. It's a catalyst to accelerate growth that we've never seen before. So the politicians are looking in the wrong place. The money is already here. We just need to access it and release it. We have everything we need. The only thing that needs to change is up here. The biggest enemy we have in Zimbabwe is our own mind. Right? So let us adjust our mind. Because surely you can see. And it's your choice whether to see the glass half full or half empty. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.